Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So it is 7:30, so let's get rolling. Welcome to Financial Freedom Classroom. We accelerate your results. For those of you who haven't joined us before, I am John Locke, owner of Lock in Your Success LLC. You can go to lockinyoursuccess.com to find out more about us there. We are a stock options trading, coaching, and education company. And I'm also a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming. Sherry is also here. She's my lovely wife, and together we have managed many successful businesses in the education, automotive, real estate, computer, consulting, and coaching businesses, as well as some other things. Also, we're active real estate investors. We've done some spec home building, so forth, and we also have rentals. And on top of that, if we find a good business, then we will provide loans and guidance to them as well to help keep them going. So before we get going, we just want to remind you that all the information in this presentation is our opinion only. We're not broker-dealers. We're not licensed financial advisors, accountants, lawyers, or tax preparers, and therefore any information that you hear here should be checked out with the appropriate professionals prior to making any financial decisions or legal decisions on your own. All right, let's move forward here. Tonight we're talking about something that's very important. You know, one of the things we always say is in order to be financially successful, you have to earn more than you spend. And part of that is watching what you spend. So tonight we're going to be talking about keeping more of what you earn and a lot of great money saving tips. And to start off with that, I'd like to have Sherry start with that.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am not 100%, so I apologize for any nasally sounding voice that's coming across, so just bear with me. Tonight we're going to be talking about saving categories, and this is something that I'm pretty excited about. I've done this always as far as I can remember, and so we have a variety of categories to go over to hopefully help you keep more of your money.
So one of the things you guys may not know about us is we weren't always financially independent. We went through a very long period of time where, we were struggling for a long time. So, and we had to save a lot of money.
Well,
so we're very good at it.
We made some personal choices to, at one time, neither John nor I were working full time. We were both working part time, and we were homeschooling our kids. So that was an interesting time, and we had to make do with what we had, and we did pretty well with the little bit that we earned. So and again, that was a personal choice of ours to do that. So tonight, and also I'm going to bring out businesses and so forth, and just full disclosure, there's been no compensation. This is just our own personal opinion about some of the businesses and stuff that we frequent and
but yeah, she's going to talk about some businesses that we go to or maybe use,
right?
And we haven't been compensated by them.
Right. I just want to. It's just our own personal opinion. So, so as we jump forward into the housing category, before we jump into the category, there's just some general tips that we kind of go by, which is compare at least 3 sources to get a range of a price. So when I think about that, I used to be a contract specialist, and that was always, we would always survey at least 3.
So is this in reference to buying something or a service or anything, right?
Anything.
Products, insurance, anything.
Anything. Yeah. And eBay's a great source for that. Amazon's a good source for that. If you're looking for a service, you always call 3 plumbers or electricians, or if you can.
Even if you're trading, we check our synthetics before we buy something. We check the cowls, the foots, and the irons.
Right. So you want to make sure you're getting a good deal, right?
Right.
And so you want to set a range for what you're looking to buy. And again, Google's another way to search for any savings. And I think about things like, I don't know, if we're going out to eat to Olive Garden, say. So are they running any 2 for $20 deals, or, where might we go for something like that? Or if you're looking for a coupon for something specific.
Also I'd add to that is Amazon and Facebook. A lot of businesses now giving out Facebook coupons, and Amazon has an awful lot of good deals on it too.
You can find a lot, just about, I would say just about anything on there. And, as we go forward into some of the other categories, we'll kind of delve into that. But freebies, there's a lot of those, and there's everywhere. I mean, you've gotten free audiobooks, right, John?
Yeah, even on Amazon, and I probably should have got the link ahead of time, but if you check out free audiobooks on Amazon, a lot of times well, not necessarily audiobooks, but any kind of Kindle books on Amazon, you can get that stuff for free a lot of times.
Right.
And they rotate free books,
Right.
which is cool.
So we'll go with more of that. And then sometimes you're in a situation where you need to go without. And, we've been in that position a lot of times that we just needed to go without. So, and you just need to be flexible and just think about that.
Yeah, we certainly have. I mean, you have to start thinking about your long-term pleasure instead of your short-term pleasure.
Right.
And sometimes it's better off to go without, invest that money so that you can do more stuff like that later.
Absolutely. So, and with that, let's see what our first category is going to be housing, because that's typically the largest cost of people's income. So in a mortgage situation, always looking for a fixed rate so that you don't have any surprises.
Well, you have but the variable rates are cheaper.
No, it would appear so in the short term. I mean, if you
and they may be too for the term, you never know. But
they could be.
But one of the things is if you don't have a fixed housing cost, you got to take a look at what happens if your mortgage payment goes up 3 times what it is now.
Right. And are you prepared for that?
Are you prepared for that? Right. And if you're overfinanced, what people do is they overfinance their house and they go into a variable rate mortgage so they can get a lower rate so they can make the qualifying, and then they're already in trouble because they're already overspent, and then the rate goes up like crazy later on in the loan, and then they end up getting foreclosed on because they can't refinance it because they're already over leveraged in the house. Happened in the late 2008, 2009.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate. I mean, and it's the least you can get away with, the best, and certainly you don't want to spend any money on PMI either, private mortgage insurance. That is
it's kind of throwing money away.
Yeah.
So, and if you have private mortgage insurance and you've paid down your house enough, you can get that taken off. Make sure you do it, because they're not going to tell you. They'll collect it for the rest of your life. They don't care.
Right. And an adjustable rate mortgage, too, can sneak right up on you, too, and you don't even realize it before it's like, bam, uh-oh, rate just went up and you're stuck. And so just keep an eye on that. And also for the shortest duration possible, obviously, you don't want to have a debt for any longer than you need to. So get that paid off as quick as possible.
Yeah, if you look at the savings in a 15-year mortgage, they are insane.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think it's almost half.
Yeah, you pay about half the price for your house.
So for insurance, you always want to review your coverage, make sure it's adequate and not overcompensated, because then you're going to be paying for that. So you just want to make sure that that's correct and you're properly covered for that. Property tax. I wasn't going to put it in here, and then I did, and I was thinking about assessments. So you want to watch your assessment. Make sure that they're proper in that. I just think that that's an overlooked thing, and people just kind of say, well, they know what they're doing, but they don't always.
Yeah, sometimes they do get it. They do take advantage on property taxes. So just make sure you're not overpaying for what you have. And Casey says, watch those pesky balloon payments for type of mortgages. Yes, especially for rental properties, right? You'll buy a rental property and you do an interest-only loan with a $20,000 balloon in 10 or $120,000 balloon in 10 years, and the next thing you know, 10 years is here, and you're like, oh my goodness.
I didn't save for that. That could be a scary thing for sure.
Yeah, especially if the property value went down and you can't refi it.
Right.
So take you right out.
Furniture, it's funny. I put this in here because I think that some people think that you have to have like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of quality furniture. I don't believe that.
We still have the house. We still have the couch we had when we were married. We were married in 2000.
Well, we're still married, darling. But
no, when we got married.
So, it still looks decent.
It still looks okay.
So I mean, it's and I'm not saying, deny, but at the same time, you don't need heirloom. We were looking for a bedroom set, and I remember the bed that we wanted, it was a hardwood, and it was $10,000, I think. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? I don't want it that bad. So I'd rather have a vacation and buy a much cheaper set that we could get decent for like $3,000. So, okay, I'm just going to say, so we ended up going to, and we wanted one of those with the pull-out
drawers on the bottom and stuff, yeah.
And we wanted platform. We went to this place and they had a floor model.
Yeah.
And I think that base was regularly $500 or something with the drawers in it. And I was like, that's perfect. And it ended up costing us like $300 or something because it was a floor model. I can't remember, but that was a far cry from $10,000. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah, so that was $7,000 I could put in the market instead and make money with it.
That's right.
Rather than having a bed, which is, what do you do with that?
I know. Well, you sleep on it. So, but so that's just a quick story about that. And then maintenance on your house. Well, you can have kids do stuff. That's always a good way to do it. Have the kids cut the grass.
Pay the kids to do stuff and things like that. I mean, landscaping companies, I know if you get older, and we can certainly understand the need to have other things done, and we do it more often now. But up until like 2 years ago, we never had anybody do anything on our property.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much. I did everything myself. If you got to weigh that off, but even if I'm hiring somebody out, I'm getting costs and prices, and if I can have a kid do it or an all-around guy do it, now if it's something that's not terribly important, if it kind of gets goofed up a little bit, you can save thousands of dollars with that too.
Oh yeah. I mean, like we did bark mulch, and we have a lot of bark mulch.
If it's something important, get a professional. Right. You pay for it, just price it out. But if it's something that's cutting your grass, if it gets screwed up, it's not a big deal.
Right, exactly. So that was so that's what we have with that.
Okay,
and
cool.
If anybody has any questions too, just or tips or anything, please just
type them in and we can do that. Sure.
Next we have utilities. This is the phone. We went for a long time and we had cell phones and we had a landline, and then we said we never used the landline. What the heck do we need that for? So we ended up getting rid of that. And then now just everybody has cell phones. I think a lot of people are going to that, but I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have a phone you carry with you and there's 4 of them in a house, what the heck do you need a landline for?
I know it. So, I mean, that's just something to consider. And that can save a...
All right. Now, of course, as far as your mobile phones, you want to check your plans and stuff because they're always coming out with new promotions, and they tend to put out these great promotions to get new people in, and they tend to forget to tell their existing customers. And you're there paying $150 a month for this plan that they're offering $75 for, and all you need to do is go down and just make a phone call, and you can save $75 a month.
Right. Oh yeah. So watch. I mean, you got to watch them, and that happens a lot.
It does happen a lot.
Yeah.
Same thing with cable.
Yeah.
How that goes.
Well, cable. We canceled our cable, I don't know, March, I think. We don't watch it. I think we just had it because we've always had it, and we just kept paying the $90, and we just always had it, and we just went on and on and on, and then we realized we're not even watching TV.
Yeah, and for some people, $90, you said, I'd love to be paying $90 for cable, because I talked to my dad, I think he was like $250 a month for cable. I said, are you out of your mind? There's not much on cable you can't get on the computer anyway.
I know.
If you really want to watch it.
And I mean, and now we mindful watch. So if we want to watch something, we find it. You can either find it on the internet, and then you can cast it on your TV. So we do that, and we ended up buying some Chromecast devices, right. And now we can watch pretty much anything that's on the computer on the TV. So
right, and TV. I mean, depending on what you're watching, I mean, we all have to zone out every once in a while, but doing that too much is not a good thing from a personal development standpoint. And right. How did I learn to trade so fast? And how do I have time to come up with all these programs and stuff that we do? It's because I don't watch cable TV. I'm doing something more productive with my life, right?
Right.
So
that's definitely helpful.
And saving money.
Yeah, right. Well, internet too. I mean, that's kind of coupled with that too. I mean, everybody needs internet, but sometimes, sometimes doing without if you have a Wi-Fi that's close. In our case, we couldn't do that.
Right, yeah. And that's just if you're a trader, you got to be on the fastest internet probably possible.
But if it's something that you use periodically, And you have your phone. I mean, you could do that at home, and then if you needed to go, you could go and socialize at like Panera Bread or McDonald's or something and use their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, if you live someplace near someplace
I know.
but
Well,
we don't, so
right.
it would cost us more to drive to Panera Bread than
would.
it would be for a month of internet.
So, and then, and I think some places are now having Wi-Fi around too. So,
Oh yeah, this is a good budgeting tip, right?
go ahead.
See, Casey found a good idea is to set aside $100 or so a month for a escrow fund to cover large unexpected repairs and maintenance on a house. Yes, we even actually put aside significantly more than that. But,
Yeah, well, we could talk about that here. I mean, we actually have, and this was something that.
Yeah, rental properties too. Yeah,
Yeah.
rental properties. You definitely have to do that.
Well, we have an emergency fund for our rental properties, each one. And so, I mean, those are, and we build them up, and then of course, you know, any excess goes to pay off the loans so that we don't have that anymore. But we got a big chunk because we're going to anticipate doing a renovation in one of the units, and we need it.
Yeah, well, that's, a lot of people don't think of that, and this is how you stay off of credit cards. People say, "Well, my house needed a roof. I had to finance $6,000 or whatever to change the roof in my house." And is it really a surprise your house needs a roof every 20 years? It's just the way that it goes, right? And among other things. So it's very good to figure out what your properties are going to need, especially if you have rental properties, right? It's the same thing as anything else. If you have a rental property and you have an extra $200 a month cash flow, you can't take that out and walk away with it. You need to put it away to make sure that you're going to have money to cover repairs and stuff.
Yeah, you have to, and vacancies. I mean, you have to have a cushion of a good 6 months of maintenance and rent and so forth to make sure that you're covered. It's definitely a good thing. I mean, and we have savings accounts that we dump money into for cars. We have vacation fund. We have college fund. We have funds for just about everything.
Right.
And so when we're ready to go do that, we just say, we have cash, and we just go do it. So.
Right. I mean, even though I could write a check out for pretty much any car I wanted out of the funds I have, I don't do that. I have a car fund, and we put so much. We figure out what we want to spend on cars. We put so much a month in the car fund, and when it's time to buy a car, I spend what I have.
Right.
Right. If I don't have enough money to buy a car, I have to repair what I have. I also have a car repair fund, but if it exceeds my car repair fund and I don't have enough of my new car fund to buy money, I have to take some money out of my new car fund for the repairs and then go from there. Right. And even though I could spend it, I could buy it, but that's the way we do things, so that we make sure we stay financially independent.
Right. Well, I mean, a car is I mean, we're going to get to autos, but we can probably zip through that section. But I mean, cars are a depreciating asset. I mean, you're not going to, it's not an investment. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's a ride. It's something that you need.
Yeah.
But anything you spend on a car that's more than necessary, you're kind of just throwing it in the barrel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So jumping back to utilities, water, sewer, and heating and air conditioning, what I was going with that is, I mean, you can get more efficient, especially with your heating and air conditioning costs. But you got to see if the payoff's going to be enough, and just watch those bills, because some people, I think, just have them, or you're on automatic pilot and you don't realize that the bills are going up, 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 up. And you might want to find out something might be wrong. There might be a water leak or something. I mean, we pay a lot for water here where we live.
I believe we're the highest in the country. Somebody told me that the other day.
Oh man, I wouldn't doubt it. And so that bill can be huge, and it creep up and you don't know it. So just kind of be aware of those costs and make sure that they don't unnecessarily go up. Food. This is something we spend a lot of money on, and I would imagine a lot of people probably do. Groceries, when we go food shopping, I used to, I don't anymore, but I would go to 3 or 4 grocery stores and go buy all the sale stuff.
Yeah, and she used to drive me nuts, but
I did.
But it was a good thing at the time.
Well, it was the way that we had to do it at the time. And so we would literally buy the sale stuff, and that's what we ate. it worked out fine. I mean, there's other things.
We're still
coupons,
here.
Yeah. Well, coupons, you can buy day-old food, breads and stuff, dented cans, that kind of stuff. You can save a lot of money on a lot of that. Did it? Still do a lot of it.
Oh yeah, we still try and save money, but no ways near to that extent. I mean, you also have to consider your time.
Right.
In other words, you can't spend all your time doing coupons. If you're making $100 an hour doing something, then spending an hour to save $10 is not a good use of your time. But if you don't have the money, or if you're scraping, it's certainly, or if you have the time, it's certainly worth it.
Right. I mean, definitely the sales is a great way. Restaurants, well, and I still do this. I get gift cards, and I get them from our credit cards, from our points and so forth, and I save about $5, on a $50 or something like that, or I get it's like a customer courtesy card, and they'll give you 20% off gift cards.
Right, again, Facebook, gift card specials, stuff like
Google
that.
discounts. If you just Google the restaurant you want to go to, I bet you'll find some sort of deal. Groupons, they have like half off. Restaurant.com.
Go certain nights of the week. Sometimes they have something specials, like on Mondays and Wednesdays, things like that.
Yep.
We still do that. We choose our days.
We like to go out to eat.
Yeah, so. Not as much as you used to, but
well, we're working a lot.
Yeah, we work a lot for you guys now. So.
All right, so autos, no loans. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, cars are a bad investment.
They are.
Is a bad enough investment without taking a loan out on it and paying interest.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's one thing on a house, but on
pay
a car.
cash.
Yeah.
Buy used. 2, a couple years. I mean, that will save you. My note 2 on here for license and registration is going to save you on your registration if you buy an older car.
Yeah, I'm sure excise, one of the things people don't look at when they buy a new car, I mean, a nice new car now is like $40,000 or $50,000, right? If you look at what you pay, and most states call it excise tax, in New Hampshire it's a registration fee. I bought our newest car is a 2011, but when I bought our 2006, it was almost brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to pay the registration fee, I almost passed out. It was 2006. We didn't have the money we have now. When I bought that thing, I was expecting to pay, $100 or something for a registration fee. It was like $1,000. I said, well, what's the deal with that? Yeah. And essentially they told me, they said, well, you buy a new car, you pay, the first year, the registration fee goes from $1,000 to $300.
Yeah.
Right.
So
just because you bought a new car. Yeah.
Consider that.
Not to mention you overpaid for it.
I know.
Because that's I said, well, why is that? Because that's representative of the drop in value in the car.
Isn't that
which is
awful?
kind of scary, right?
It's just awful. So for insurance, you want to review your coverage. Again, you want to make sure that it's appropriate and it's, it's good for your situation. And again, get 3 quotes. You'd be surprised at how much they vary.
Huge variation.
Yeah, huge variation. So you definitely want to have that reviewed. And I've done it. Is a tip for kids. I think we've talked about this before when we had Rachel Foley on. If you have the way we did it was we had a car in a trust, and that trust, they could insure the trust. And so our oldest child has the car. And so instead of the insurance spreading across all the vehicles in our household, it was just limited to that one car. So it saved us about $500 a year in insurance because it wasn't on each vehicle in the house. So
yeah, we found that by accident.
Put that in your back pocket. I mean, that wasn't a brilliant move on ours. It just happened that way. So That was by the luck of the draw. But it was a really good one that we found out. Repairs and maintenance, John, you want to?
I don't know if you know it or not. I used to own auto repair shops.
Yep.
So I know an awful lot about cars, repairs and maintenance.
Buying your own parts, that's dangerous.
Well, buying your own parts, you can save a lot of money sometimes.
Yeah. It can cost you money too.
It can cost you money. Sometimes it ticks off the shop that you're working with, but you can ask them about that. Some people don't mind so much, others do. If you can, a lot of little stuff that if you're handy, you can do yourself and save some money. Usually stay away from dealers. Dealers can be very, very expensive. Of course, if it's a warranty repair or if it's something electronic, you need to go to a dealership. Usually electronic stuff like, collision avoidance systems and airbags and stuff like that, you probably have to go to a dealer or might want to go to a dealer, but other stuff like brakes and tires and things like that, usually you get taken advantage of there. So,
Right.
Yeah, but you can shop around for car maintenance. Don't be fooled by getting the cheapest part, though, because getting the cheapest part can also be a mistake.
And we've done that too.
Yeah.
And recently. So let's see. So gas. Okay. So here's another cool one. Gas Buddy. There's apps on your phone so you can find the cheapest gas in your area, and that can vary. I've seen it vary 10 cents a gallon.
I've seen more than that.
And when you drive as much as we do, I do what I like to do when I used to go to work. I used to do a gas survey. As I was driving all the way down 40 miles, I would kind of look and see what was the cheapest gas, and it would literally vary 10 cents. So I would just figure out which one was the cheapest one and then hit it. But now they have the apps that can help you find the cheapest gas. And we were filling up a lot.
Most cars don't require premium gas. They'd like to have you believe that, but if you have a certain performance car, but for the most part, 98% of cars on the road can take regular unleaded just fine. You don't have to pay an extra 40 cents a gallon for a premium. Right. You can check with your owner's manual, but even if it says usually they still run okay on regular gas.
Yeah. Fuel efficiency too. I mean, if you have a fuel efficient car and you're concerned about that, if you drive a lot, that might be something you want to look into. Sometimes you pay more for that fuel efficiency, but if you drive a lot, I guess it would.
Well, you have to,
you'd have to kind of analyze that.
You have to do your cost offset.
Tolls and parking. Tolls. I find the Easy Pass. We have Easy Pass in New England, and that saves you very little. It's just convenience now for us.
Yeah. See, the good part for the state for Easy Pass is you don't know what you're paying, so
right.
You just drive through and you get the bill at the end of the month.
That's right.
It doesn't hurt anymore when you drive through the thing, just when you get the bill at the end.
You forget. I'll just keep going this way.
Right. So if there's I don't know if you have tolls where you are, but if you have in New Hampshire we have a lot of tolls, but you can get around them pretty easy. Yeah. So avoid them.
We don't avoid anymore.
We don't avoid them anymore. We used to.
Parking. So sometimes you have monthly discounts on parking and so forth. We don't have that problem anymore. But when I was working, that was one of the things that...
Well, certainly if you live in the city, you can get pay a lot.
So. And sometimes they have, even on the street parking where they have the meters, I think sometimes you can get a monthly pass for that as well. So you should really kind of investigate all your options for parking, because you can save a significant amount for that if you investigate that. Insurance, yuck. I mean, we did just talk about insurance for health insurance last month with Alice, and talking to some of my friends and stuff, and who just pay the penalty and then they offer cash when they have some kind of medical emergency.
We don't necessarily recommend this.
No, I'm not recommending it. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But they offer them cash, and then they'll essentially discount it heavily, like 50% or more, if they pay cash right then. So another friend of mine, they shop for services, and she said, if you need an x-ray I mean, obviously if it's not an urgent thing, but if it's something you need some kind of MRI or whatever, you can shop for those. Yeah,
there's a lot of new places opening up. They just specialize in doing like MRIs or like you said, x-rays or or whatever, other health things, and they're like less than half the cost.
They're much less. So, so again, the rule of three is to kind of check out what your options might be if you need some kind of service like that.
And I never would have thought of that.
I know, neither would I. Because, you just go to your doctor. And
that's when we used to have a good insurance
plan. I know. Well, we still do.
We still have it, but we're not for long.
I know. Dental, too. I'll have more tips on that as we go. Dental, there are various websites and you can have discounts. I believe dental.com is one of them. Some dental offices I found out have plans that you can take part in, and believe it or not, Groupon, another Groupon and some of the other coupon sites actually allow you to go in and have cleanings and x-rays and so forth at dental offices for like half off.
Yeah, Groupon.com.
Who knows?
It's actually, they got a lot of, they got all kinds of things on there.
They really do. And I was going to hop into that like the next screen. I know we're going over time, guys, so if you want to bear with us, that would be fine. We are recording it, so we'll put it up, but we're just going to keep rolling. Let's see. So vision, again, that's another place where you can, Groupon.com, if you need vision care and coupons. And I know, again, quality glasses are important. I can tell you that just by when I have different glasses and so forth, and some of the coatings and stuff they put on, I thought was not worth it, but it is. If you're driving at night, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're trying to look at the road and it's raining, and it is definitely worth the extra. But you can a lot of times get discounts on that stuff if you look for it. And Google is, Google is
a good place.
Yep. Life insurance, again, rule of 3 quotes always. That is, the range is huge. Same thing with
and
disability.
we recommend term life insurance.
Term, definitely. And only if you need it.
No, only if you need it.
Right. Disability, same thing. Long-term care, same thing. Always get at least 3 quotes so that you feel like you're in there in a range.
Yeah. Prescriptions, there are a lot of generic sometimes you can save with. You got to watch it. Some of them aren't as good as the regular ones, but some of them are.
Well, I mean, one specific, and you might, if you have a specific brand, I'm just going to throw out Lipitor. They have like a $4 copay card.
Right.
I mean, and I think the prescription is like $90 or something crazy like that. And you can actually get it for $4.
Right.
So you just got to look, and if there's a specific drug that you need to take, you could check that out and see if there are any of those copay cards, and they can save significant amounts of money.
Huge amounts.
Yeah. Personal expenses. Well, childcare. So sometimes it's not about the money. I mean, especially in childcare situations, that you got to put your kids obviously where you're comfortable putting them, but sometimes it's not worth it if you have 2 individuals that are working, and it might not be worth doing.
We had like the most expensive childcare, and that was we stopped working.
Right. That is true. So just sometimes it's not about the money.
Right.
And then private school tuition. Ugh, I know that can be really heavy duty, but you might want to. There's really not much you can do about that if you're
avoid private school if you can. Yeah.
Or move to a good public school system if you can. Hair, manicures, and pedicures. So hair care, you gotta get your haircut.
I never pay for a haircut.
I know. John doesn't pay for a haircut. I don't think he has since we've been married. So we take care of that for him because that's a real easy.
Men, you don't have to pay a lot of money for a haircut. It's cool just to shave your head down to like a half an inch, and
cool now.
And don't worry about that. That's cool now. It's even cool if you shave your head.
Yeah.
So you can do that for free.
That's true.
Women, that's a different story. You look better with hair.
Yeah. So manicures and pedicures, you can do them at home. You can swap with a friend. Again, I'm going to say Groupon, because they do offer some really great discounts if you can afford it and you want to do it. So they also have Groupons for hair too. I mean, it's and you can save quite a bit of money. Clothes, depending on where you are, secondhand stores is always a good alternative. I know John's cringing at me. We never had to do that, but
no, we never did that. But we don't. I've never paid $30 for a pair of pants either.
Well, and this is why. Kohl's and clearance.
Yeah.
So really for me, it's just more, we just don't pay a lot for clothes. Clearance racks have everything that we've ever needed, and at probably like 70% off.
Right.
So And Kohl's right now is kind of my favorite clothing store because they do have very good brands, and they also offer percentages off, they offer dollars off, and I can go and buy clearance clothes with percentages off and $10 off, and
Yeah.
it is insane the amount of money that I save on awesome clothes.
I mean, I just look at the price of clothes. I can't believe people pay that for it.
Yeah,
It's
so
insane.
it's a great thing. School supplies, pet supplies, toiletries. One of our favorite places to shop for that is Target.
Target, yeah.
They with their they have their credit card, so anything that you buy is immediately 5% off if you use your credit card. Then, of course, they have Cartwheel, which is their app, so you can save on just about anything else that you buy. A lot of times they'll have, if you buy so many, then you get a $5 gift card. In fact, the last time I went,
If you buy in bulk, yeah. Yep.
I bought, let's see, I ended up getting $10 in gift cards. I ended up saving $10 in coupons, I think, because I had other $5 off. And then I saved almost $30. And my mother-in-law just about fainted. She's like, "What did you just do?" So it can be fun.
Yeah.
So that's a really good tip for that stuff. Gift allowance. Sometimes people overspend for gifts.
You think?
So consider experiences instead of stuff. So that's one of my notes for that.
That's another thing too. You know, you buy people this stuff. I know when people buy me something that I'm never going to use, I have these piles of stuff that I'm never going to use. I'd rather have them do something for me or with me than that. So experiences are actually really good.
Right. So, I mean, it could even be something as much as, as little expensive as take them on a picnic. I mean, and then you just make food and then you just go. I mean, it's just.
And you had to eat anyway, so.
Right. But I mean, it's different. It's just a different way to think about it. And I think people kind of like the experiences instead of stuff. One of the things I was actually we're going to recreation. We'll talk about it there. Like some of the cool things for entertainment, some of the cool things I found on Groupon that John and his dad were able to do. Gosh, you guys did flight simulators.
Yeah.
You did, we rented motorcycles, and you guys
rented snowmobiles.
I mean, we laser tag. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, just some of the local things that you can do for like half off. I mean, it's so they've had some really great experiences.
Right, it's like with my dad, right? We go buy, like I said, a thing to go out on the motorcycles for a day on Groupon. And that's a lot better than me giving him a golf hat or something.
Right, right. And how many Longhorn gift certificates can you give?
Yeah, right.
So, we give those a lot too. But no, it's just there's a lot of great ways to enjoy entertainment. Another thing, DVDs at the library. They're free. You don't necessarily need to go to Redbox, and they have
Redbox is a good deal too. But
right, Redbox is a good deal, but at the same time,
they're both a lot cheaper than going out to a movie.
They are. But really your library has tons. They have so many things to offer. I mean, I was shocked. We went on some college tours, and they actually have audio visual equipment that they loan out to the students. I mean, really? Yeah. Kindles and, all this stuff now. It's just amazing. But they also have, a lot of times they'll have memberships to museums and passes to all kinds of things. So always check out your library. It's a free resource, and they have great stuff. Memberships. One of the things that we've done in the past is buy a membership. For instance, we have the Boston Museum of Science that we like to go to. If we go twice in a year, it's cheaper to buy a membership and go twice than it would be for us to, to buy obviously singly and go twice.
Right. And then you have extra free movies and stuff like that if you buy a membership.
You get passes and so forth. So look into those. Memberships can be a really good thing, and they're not as expensive as you might think. Initially they are, but if you know that you're going to use it, we use it when we have the exchange students here to bring them to various places. So
right.
Computers and games. What I was going to talk about that was computers. We buy computers a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of computers.
A lot. And Staples has always seemed to have offered the
Staples
best
has the best deals on computers. If they have what you want, it's
Right.
the best deals.
They tend to.
I got a laptop that anywhere else is $1,200.
Right.
It was $500 with
Right.
Sherry's work magic with the discounts and the coupons and stuff. And going to Staples, it was just it was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty. That was a great deal. So I mean, that's just one of the tips. And then for games and so forth, eBay. A lot of times, if you're looking for electronic games, I'm thinking of the kids.
Yeah.
They're on eBay. And
Yeah, you got to watch
that.
your costs on eBay. You have to know what stuff's worth because some stuff sells more than what it's worth, but there are good deals as well.
There are. And again, you can easily do some research on eBay for pricing. And they even have the sold section. So, I mean, that's a great way to tell how much somebody paid, not necessarily what they're asking for, but what they paid.
Right.
So let's see. Vacations. Oh,
You can save a lot of money on vacations. We took the kids to
am-
Disney World this year, right? This
I
year?
think so, yeah.
What,
Yeah,
how
we
much?
did.
How much
We
was
did.
it?
I think it was like $2,500.
Like $2,500. 4 people
Uh,
from New Hampshire to Disney World with $2,500.
yeah, it's
Right. And
I think it was 10
we
days.
talked to our number. Yeah, 10 days. Okay. We talked to our friends who go and they spend $10,000.
It's just you have to be you
Like-
have to look for deals and you have to use all the coupon codes they give you, and you may have to change your dates and so forth. It's all very trying to get the right combination.
Yeah.
And then you can do you can get very
Depending
good
on when you
deals.
go, yeah, you can do really good deals. I don't think
Right.
we're going to get very good deals going to Hawaii, but I think that one's probably a full pricer. But I'll show you probably some discounts.
I will find a way. But I mean, always look, because they always have. I mean, I just saw Southwest had or JetBlue had like a 2-day, or they had a very short sale. And it was, I can't remember if it was like $80 or whatever it was, but it was a very good deal. And Southwest has those too, like 24-hour deals or something. So
Right.
be ready, because it could be the right time. And this is going to be very brief. Debts, don't have them. I mean, this is one of the best money-saving tips ever.
Yeah.
Just don't have them. I mean, you're paying for money.
Whatever you buy,
Don't you wanna
you're
earn?
paying another 20% a year for.
I know, it just doesn't make sense. So just don't have debts. The money that you use to pay the interest you could be investing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You want to invest
So
that
you
money.
don't want to do that. So get off that treadmill. So I was just going to see if there's any questions.
Yeah, because I know we went long, so we lost some people
sorry
here.
guys.
But that's okay. And
Just wanted to get. I don't think we have any questions, and this is just our slide to join us for the free monthly webinars and the blog. Unfortunately, I have been not great on the blog. I'm going to get back to at least posting once a week for us.
Before she retired, she had time to do the blog. But now that she's working with me, I just keep her so busy that she hasn't had time to do it. So
yeah. So I'm going to neglect him a little bit and make sure that I get a couple blog posts done. And anytime you have any questions or anything, you can always send them questions at financialfreedomclassroom.com. And please share with your friends so that they can benefit as well. And next month, we're going to be presenting YouTube for your business. So for the business folks out there.
Or people interested in starting a business?
Oh, yeah. YouTube. Did you know it is the second largest search engine?
Wow, that's insane.
Did you know that?
One of the-
Google is number one, and I believe when I was reading something and they said Google is so big, Bing, Yahoo, I can't even remember some of the other ones, but all of them combined aren't even close to being the top as Google is. So all of them combined.
Oh, wow.
So Google is the
Huge.
top search engine.
Right, and Yahoo,
YouTube is number 2.
which is Google.
Yeah. Well, but just remember, YouTube.
But it's different. YouTube is videos, right?
Yeah, but I mean, YouTube,
And
if you're not using it, you got to.
If you think you can't make money on YouTube, my kids were running to Boston to see this guy, this kid that they were all excited about and whatever. And we went down there and there was traffic for miles to go see this kid. I said, well, what's he do? He plays games on YouTube and people watches him.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It is amazing.
I mean, can you imagine that? So,
yeah.
A lot of money to be made on YouTube.
Right. So join us next month. I'm going to do a bunch of research and I'm going to get a bunch of info together for it. But it is an amazing tool. So,
right.
So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. So thanks everybody for your time. We appreciate it and staying along with us and have a great evening.
Thank you. We hope you had fun.
Yes. Thanks.
See you next month.